Hey guys, it's Mozey here with Mozey Swim, and today is day 13 of the Makeover Your Mornings course. Tomorrow is the last day. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. So today is all about what do you do when you fail? Because we know that at some point we all need to embrace the fact that sometimes we are going to fail. And so what she's talking about in today's project is that when you fail, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. You can just pick right back up and tweak something in your routine, in your schedule or whatever, and try it again. Failing is not the end. Failing is just evidence that we are trying to make a difference and that we are going forward with one of our goals or our plans. So that's so exciting. That's a new perspective on failing. I love that. But so I wanted to share with you guys some of the tweaks that I've made to my routine so far. So the steps that we're supposed to do today have to do with, either tweaking your routine or acknowledging some of the things that need to be tweaked. So really quickly, the steps that we're supposed to go over today are there areas of your evening routine, morning routine, task list, or goal setting in need of some rethinking or tweaking? Step 2, remember this is not the time to scrap the plan entirely. Step 3, mark your calendar for 3 weeks from now when you will spend 10 minutes evaluating your morning routine. Okay, so are there any areas of your morning routine or your evening routine or are your lists or whatever that need tweaking? So for me, my morning routine, you guys remember this from a few days ago. So I've been working on this and there's definitely some things that need tweaking. Number 1, there's too much on it. So she said to narrow it down, to write down like your 8 to 10 things that you wanted to get done in the morning and then narrow it down to 3 to 5. Well, how many things do I have on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have about 10 things on here still. So a couple of things that I have either squashed together or completely decided that I'm not going to try to squeeze that in the early morning hours is the dishes. I'm not going to try to squeeze the dishes in before we do breakfast. That's just silly. I decided that I was going to try to get dishes started, and then when we did breakfast, it would be really easy to clean up because I would have already tidied up the kitchen, or it'd be really easy to throw a load into the dishwasher. But what I've decided is I don't want to spend my early morning time doing dishes. I would much rather spend that first morning time, getting myself grounded and ready for the day, taking care of a couple of things that are really important to me for my own personal growth, like my blogging and meditation. And so those take priority. The dishes are actually, it's fine if we eat breakfast and then I get the dishes into the dishwasher and the load done in the sink. That's fine. So rather than I still have to do that anyway. So I was just setting myself up to do dishes twice in the morning instead of just once. So I've changed that to do it just once. Okay. The other thing that I have changed is laundry. I wanted to do a full cycle of laundry. And what I mean by that is, the night before I usually throw a load in and then in the morning I can switch it. Well, so in the morning I wanted to take out whatever was in the dryer and switch whatever's in the washer and put it into the dryer. And then I also wanted to fold that load that I took out of the dryer and put it away completely first thing in the morning. Well, this is unrealistic. I figured out that if I kept all these things on my list, I was going to have to wake up at 5:30 in order to have breakfast on the table by 9. Well, that's just not realistic for who I am. I usually don't go to bed till about midnight, like I told you in video 2 or 3 or whatnot when we were talking about our nighttime routine and our bedtime and our wake-up time. I usually go to bed about midnight, sometimes even a little bit later. So to wake up at 5:30, I really would not be getting enough sleep. So I decided I'm going to figure out another time that I'm going to do laundry. Hi, baby. I'm going to figure out another time that I'm going to do laundry. And I will have to probably still switch it in the morning, but that only takes about 5 minutes. And so I will figure out another time that I'm going to actually fold it and put it away. Okay. So step 2, remember this is not the time to scrap the plan. I know, don't scrap your plan. Just tweak it a little to make it work better for you and your family. You know what to do. You know what's working and what's not working. So just give it a little adjustments. She tells a great story about the guy who did the tightrope walking across the Grand Canyon and how he said in his book, which sounds really fascinating, and it is called, let me see if I can, what is it called? It's called Balance, A Story of Faith, Family, and Life on the Line. And it is by Nik Wallenda. And he is the guy who tightrope walked across the Grand Canyon. And in his book, she says that he says the key to one of the keys to tightroping, the success of tightroping, is that along the way he has to make little tweaks and little adjustments in his balance the whole time in order to stay on the line. Well, that seems really, really true for when we're trying something new. We got to make adjustments and little tweaks in order for us to stay on our path. So I love that analogy of walking a tightrope and having to adjust your balance in order to stay up there. So that's really great. So we're not going to scrap the plan. We're just going to tweak it. Okay, so, and then mark my calendar. Okay, so it's time to mark our calendar for 3 weeks from now, which I'm putting this video out on the 8th of March. So 3 weeks from now is the 29th, which happens to be my oldest son's 13th birthday. So when I'm done with this video, I'll mark that on my Goop calendar, but I'm just going to make a note of it right here. Okay, so that'll be easy to remember because that is a special day already. Not only will we be celebrating his 13th birthday, but we will also be reevaluating our morning routine. Sounds good. Okay guys, so tomorrow is the very last day. I've really enjoyed this little vlogging session with you guys. I hope you guys have found it helpful. I'll put some links in the description box below to the course if you want to join, and also to the book that I mentioned, because that sounds like a good book. Let's read it together and then chat about it. Right? Shall we? Okay. All right guys, have a great day.